Do you see combat in security forces? Do you see combat in Phoenix Raven? Is a question that I get damn near every day, bro. If it's not on here, then it's on TikTok. If on TikTok, it's on Instagram. And I'm gonna tell you, bro, what combat are you going to see right now in security forces? Do y'all know what security forces is? Security forces is military police. You know what I'm saying? There's no first of all, but you two's a goddamn dead man's one on the Pappy, and we are back with another video. But anyway, security forces is military police. Your job is to protect and serve the base, enforce the laws on base, respond to alarms on base, respond to you know any other police type situation on base. You are going to pull people over. You are going to check IDs. You are going to goddamn secure the flight line. Now, when it comes to deploying as security forces, yeah, you might do patrols, but you gonna be on that gate. You not finna go down range. If you finna leave right now, what war are we fighting for you to be worried about combat? If you want combat, bro, go to the Marines and go to infantry. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be your best bet. I did security forces 6 years. I did Raven 4 years. Uh, as a regular security forces, well, I only did it 2 years. I didn't see no type of combat, bro. I never deployed as a regular security forces person. I deployed as a Raven, and our deployments are called stages. You know what I'm saying? Even within, you're not gonna see no combat. Now you might be flying into combat zones as a Raven, but that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? It can get a little tricky. It can get a little scary because you don't know where the threat is at. And when your main objective as a Raven is to protect the plane and the cargo and the people on that plane, right? So if you are landing in a high combat area, bro, the plane is not gonna sit there and let you engage in combat. You know what I'm saying? You gonna land, them load masters gonna get that cargo off, and y'all gonna dip. Now, if if y'all land and y'all finna get infiltrated, or somebody gonna try to like take over the plane or steal the plane, that's when you pew pew them and get them out the way. But for the most part, that don't happen like that. I don't know what's happening in the waiver world now, but I ain't seen nothing. Ain't nothing came across social media about no combat happening. So, and I like to think I'm pretty. I ain't gonna say tapped in, but when you're a Raven, you hear things, but I ain't heard nothing. I ain't heard nothing. So you not really gonna see no type of combat. You know what I mean? Now that may you might be like, whew, cool. Or you might be like, man, fuck, because you want to see some combat. Man, you not finna see no combat like that. Now, the only way I see combat happening is if another like 9/11 happened and it's an immediate war and we gotta send troops downrange. But even then, you're going to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be trained on that. It's better to be prepared than not. You know what I'm saying? Just because you train on it don't mean it's gonna happen. You just have to know what to do when 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 stuff pop off, when stuff get real. Honestly, but for the most part, you're gonna see more action on your base than overseas or on deployment overseas. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So if 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 that was a concern for you, hopefully I'd have made your heart rate go down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because some bases as security forces don't even deploy because all bases don't have the same mission. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah. There's really no combat happening in the Air Force, and unless Plan Z, and Plan Z means shit done hit the fan, and Donald Trump is like, hey, we need all hands on deck, all four branches. We need bodies to go handle something overseas. But until that happens, bro, you not gonna see nothing, bro. I can't even, like I said, I only did it for 2 years, but the most action I seen on base was responding to an alarm or pulling somebody over or responding to some type of disturbance on base. But man, you ain't gonna see no combat. You not gonna see no combat. Now, if you respond to a situation on base and you dealing with a dude that's a crash out, then you might have to put hands on him. You know what I'm saying? Keyword: put hands on him. I'm not telling y'all to, you know, pew pew him or anything like that. Now, use your non-lethals if you have to. You know what I mean? We not pew pewing anybody on base unless they that's where they trying to take it. But 99% of the time they not trying to take it there. Most of the time they just drunk. You know, you're gonna be responding to domestic violence situation. You're gonna be responding to uh people that's drunk and having a house party and disturbing the peace and they loudness and that. That's what you're gonna be responding to. Now, if you at a base like Fort Hood, bruh, I don't even know if Air Force is stationed on Fort Hood, but if it is, goddamn, I would hate to be security forces on Fort Hood because Fort Hood always popping, and I ain't saying that in a good way. They always got commotion. They always got something going on in that base. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine all what type of alcoholics are on Fort Hood right now because that base is stressful, bruh. Killeen probably a good place to live in. No, let me name not. But yeah, you just hear so many situations that happen at Fort Hood, and I can just only imagine how the law enforcement on that base is. You know how they dealing with that. You know, I feel like if you at a Fort Hood, you gotta be trained up to the T because you just never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? Uh, if you at a base like Lackland, that's a I think Lackland is probably one of the busiest bases of all the Air Force bases because you got to think about it, bruh. There are weekly graduations on graduations from basic on that base. So you might have somebody try to sneak in a pew pew or they try to run the gate or this and that. I wouldn't want to be stationed at Lackland as security force. That's a big base. That's a big base. Dover is a small little teeny weeny base in in the United States. I think Delaware is the smallest state in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody fact check that for me. But yeah, I ain't nothing really happening at security forces, bro. And if you deploy, bro, you gonna be on that gate. You gonna do your patrols. You gonna be stationed here, posted there. You can work a 12-hour shift. And if stuff was to hit the fan, then you gotta handle your business. But for the most part, ain't nothing really happening, dog. At least not in these times. Now, even though I'm saying this, don't be relaxed on the job. Don't do that. Still be on your P's and Q's. Still watch your six and watch your partner six. Have your wingman back and your wingman better have your back. Take all your training serious, my boy. And girl, because girls can be security forces too. So take it serious. Because you just never know. You are prepared for the worst, but you're always praying for the best. You know what I mean? So yeah, the most combat I had was some. I told this story a number of times, but I was somewhere in Africa, bro, and I was vaping. I just had the vape, bro. I was vaping on the flight line, and the vapes The vapes of today is not what they was back when I was vaping. The vapes look like goddamn. They were like they were like this big, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And that mud produced clouds, not the little puny ass clouds that these vapes got today. These muds produce like God, that's a whole lot of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Those type of clouds. Whole time the clouds smell like strawberry shortcake. But yeah, I was on a flight line in Africa. I seen a sign saying no smoking, but back then you could be like, I ain't smoking, I'm vaping. But now it's like no smoking or vaping for you smart ass people. But yeah, I was vaping on the flight line. Once opposed to the local like flight line security came up to me and tried to like take it from me. And I ain't going for that. I ain't going for that. So dude tried to grab me. And I said, bro, if you don't get your hands off me, I don't know if you understand me, but I like to think he understood my demeanor and my attitude. And I was willing to take it there with him if that's what he was going to do. And I think that's what he was trying to do. But when you have a good wingman, they gonna step in and de-escalate the situation. I was in the totally wrong. I was wrong for vaping on the fight line, you know. But when you build that rapport with other locals in that country, my boy Donnie was able to come over. He like, hey y'all, chill, 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 chill. And then he had to do it. He was cool with. Had him come over and explain the situation, and he told dude to relax. But that could have got ugly over a goddamn vape. A vape. Man, that would have been a dumb reason to get kicked out of the military. Because if I would have did that and caused an international incident, bro, they would have dragged me, bro. They would have dragged me. And I was so young. And now that I'm older, I can look back and think about it, bro. That was so dumb of me, bro. So dumb. All because I wanted to vape. Y'all know how I told y'all in videos that I would laugh at you if you get sent home from the military for something dumb. I would have got laughed at, bruh, and dragged online because that would have been an international incident. So yeah, but that's the closest. Now I've been in combat zones, and I've landed, and you could hear the fighting some miles away. You like, oh shit. Sometimes it feel like you close to it. You are, but you far. It's weird. And scary. And scary. But at the same time, you're not actively participating in that. You know what I'm saying? You are chilling on guard until the threat comes to you as a raven guarding that plane. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell that was in my hands, but hell yeah. But yeah, you're not gonna see no combat like that. You're not gonna see no combat like that. Yeah, hell no, hell no. Back in the day, even way before 2012, that's when it was kind of real. But other than that, bro, we Air Force, okay? We are Air Force. We handle business in the air. You know what I'm saying? Marines and Army, they the ground troops. The Navy, they handle business in the waters. In the waters. Air Force is in the air. But yeah, if any of y'all are security force and you worry about combat and war and this, man, you gonna be alright. Ain't no combat. But take the training serious though. Take the training serious because you just never know and you need to be prepared. Now, if you are a weenie in security force, you need to change jobs immediately. If you are a weenie in your security forces and you scared, you need to change immediately because I would hate for some stuff to go down and you scary. And then something happened to me and you gotta explain to my parents why you didn't come save it or help me or whatever the case may be because you a weenie. So yeah, you need to look yourself in the mirror if security forces is your job and be like, if something happened, am I gonna be able to not be a weenie, not be scared, and handle business? If the answer is no, I can't do that, you call your recruiter right now and tell them, nah, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. Shit, I'll be damn. I'll be damn if I lose my life because my wingman, my my Bravo or my Alpha was scared to help out. Boy, boy. So but other than that, y'all gonna be straight. Y'all gonna be straight. Security forces is cool. Don't let nobody tell you that it ain't. Uh, all jobs have the potential to be trash. At least with security forces, it's a different experience because you at the gate, you interacting with different people, and you just never know what can pop out. But when you in an office job, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you can help it, don't be security forces. Like get you a cool little office job and ride out your enlistment. And that's just honest God truth. You that's coming from somebody that was security force. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all not gonna have the opportunity to be Raven. A lot of y'all are not gonna get the opportunity to branch off to other jobs. Some of y'all are going to be gate guards and patrolmen y'all whole career, and that's tough. No type of advancement. And that's tough. You might be a supervisor or a flight chief or something like that, but you still a regular security forces. Hell no. So if you cool with not if you cool with being on the gate and patrolling and this and that for 4 years, 6 years, whatever it may be, cool. But if you trying to advance, man, get you a cool little desk job. Get you a cool little desk job. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the honest to God truth. I ain't trying to scare y'all from security forces. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a question I had to answer. Don't worry about the combat. Don't worry about no war. Don't worry about dying. Everybody got a date. Okay. Even when I was serving, I only thought about death my last deployment because I was at the tail end of my military career and I ain't want no dumb shit to happen at the end and the storyline be on the news. He was only 2 months away from separating from military. That's the only time I thought about that shit. But the first 5 3/4 of my enlistment, I ain't thinking about no war. Nothing. I was chilling. I was flying all over the world, getting money. The ladies, man, I had all the shoes I wanted. I had my Camaro. I was chilling. Life was good. When y'all think about death and war, all that shit, y'all, that means y'all scary or some shit. Y'all worry about the wrong thing. You could watch this video before you even leave for your goddamn basic training date and pass away. Everybody has a date. And I don't mean to sound insensitive, but it's just the truth. Why y'all worried about something y'all can't control? Huh? Get on my nerves talking about you go to war, I don't want to die military. You can goddamn trip off the curb and pass away. Like what we talking about? What we talking about, man? So yeah, but other than that, man, we Air Force. Y'all hear the jokes, cheer for us, we don't do nothing, blah blah blah. Cool, whatever. We chilling though, and we get treated like humans around that mud, and it's an easy life, cool life too, sensational. So if you want to work smarter, not harder, you better go Air Force. And if you security force, you're gonna be straight. You're gonna be straight. So don't worry about no combat. Ain't nothing happening. If you know when it's time to go to war, you will know. But until then, man, we chilling. It's peacetime. It's peacetime. All right. So y'all go handle y'all business. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out, dog.